All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever had that feeling that you're just a little out of step with everybody else? Like you're watching the world on a slightly different channel? Well, if that's you, you're going to want to hear this.
Picture this. You're at a huge sports game. Thousands of people are screaming their heads off. For most people, that's thrilling. But for you, is it possible that it all just sounds like static?
Or maybe, your friends are all hyped for a big, loud party, but the only thing you can think about is a quiet night at home. Maybe diving into a project you're passionate about. If you're nodding along right now, what we're about to unpack is going to make so much sense.
And here's the most important thing I'm going to say. You are not broken. Seriously. That thing you might see as a weird quirk or even a flaw, it's actually the foundation of a seriously rare and powerful way of thinking. Let's get into what's really going on under the hood.
There's this unspoken rule that we're all supposed to love the chaos of a party or the roar of a stadium. And if we don't, we feel like there's something wrong with us. But what if that feeling of being an outsider isn't a bug in your system? What if it's a feature? This quote just nails it. Feeling like you're on the outside looking in isn't a weakness at all. It's a signal, a sign that your mind is wired for something much deeper. It's the very beginning of true independent thought. And listen, this isn't just some feel-good idea. There is actual psychology behind this. There are real, definable principles that explain why you might march to the beat of a different drum. So let's break down the first one.
Okay, so there's this concept called basking in reflected glory. The cool kids call it burging, and you see it everywhere. It's that we won feeling when your team wins the championship. Now, you didn't throw the ball, right? But you still feel that personal win. For a lot of people, their self-esteem gets a huge boost from the wins of the groups they belong to.
But for the independent mind, that connection just isn't as strong. It's not that you can't have fun at a game, but your core sense of who you are, your self-worth, it isn't riding on the final score. It comes from the inside, from what you accomplish, from your own progress. And that leads right into our next idea, emotional budgeting. Just think about your emotional and mental energy like money in a bank account. Every day, you only have a certain amount to spend. Now, a lot of people spend it on big external things, parties, games, you name it. But you're more of a savvy investor. You automatically put that precious energy into things with a real return on investment. Learning something new, building something cool, or having a deep conversation with one or two people who really matter. So you see, you're not being antisocial. You're just being incredibly smart with your most valuable asset. And this brings us to the third piece of the puzzle, control of environment. A loud bar, a chaotic stadium, these places are designed for distraction. They're unpredictable, and it's pretty much impossible to focus or think deeply when you're being bombarded by a million things at once. So what's really happening here is you aren't just avoiding crowds for the sake of it. You are actively seeking environments where you can be your best self. Your quiet home isn't an escape. It's your headquarters. It's your lab, your studio, your command center, a place you've built to do your best work. So when you put these three things together, generating your own self-worth, investing your energy wisely, and controlling your environment, you start to see a pattern. This isn't just a list of random preferences. It's a complete, powerful, and totally cohesive operating system for your mind. This table really lays it all out. On one side, you've got the crowd mindset, which gets its worth and its energy from the outside in. And on the other side, you've got the independent mind, which is basically a self-sustaining engine for creating value and growth from the inside out. And here's where it gets really, really cool. This entire way of being gives you something that is incredibly rare and valuable in our world today. You could honestly call it a superpower. All those traits we've been talking about, they combine to form a kind of natural defense system, a shield against one of the most dangerous and common traps of human psychology. And that trap is called groupthink. It's that deep-seated pressure to just go along with the crowd, to not rock the boat, even when the crowd is making a terrible decision. It's how smart people end up doing dumb things. It's following the pack, even when it's heading straight for a cliff.
And this is why your mind is so powerful. Because your self-worth isn't tied to the group, you're not afraid to be the one person who says, hey, wait a minute. Because you budget your energy, you're not easily swept up in trends that go nowhere. You have a natural, built-in immunity to groupthink.
So the next time you feel that little pang of guilt for wanting to stay home instead of going out, I want you to remember this. You are not broken. You are not weird. You are a rare and valuable independent thinker. And the real question isn't, why don't I fit in? The real question is, with a mind like this, where will I go? What will you build? What will you discover? Because you see things differently.